Hey, Chris here. I wanted to answer a question that I got. It's what can I invest in for the short term? So, is there something that I could go and invest in that offers a decent short-term return? Maybe something, maybe something I can withdraw from annually after my money has made money. I like this question because it gets you thinking about creative ways to look at investing, not just investing for the short term, but the long term. And I'm going to show you why I'm talking about long term when the question is about short term. Here we go. Here's ways to safely invest in short term. Quick fix and flips, yeah, that's true, but it's not passive. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the best situation for everybody. Again, there's three parts to an investment. There's the cash or resources part, there's the knowledge or expertise part, and then there's the um, my mind's drawing a blank. The time and sweat equity portion of it. Okay, so do you have time? Do you have knowledge? Do you have cash? And if you don't have all of those things at the same time, then quick fix and flips is probably not going to be the right situation for you because it's not passive. You don't have the time to take care of that. Obviously, if you don't have the knowledge to do it as well, that's another issue as well. So, quick fix and flips, it could be a good short-term investment for some people, but not for everybody because of the time and the knowledge issue. All right, and then flipping the land. So sometimes, you'd think about buying land and then flipping it. It sounds like an easy thing. If you buy it right and then flip it, you could get it to a builder. And especially right now when a lot of builders are starving for land, that might be a good option for some people. But you know what? My experience has been that land never is going to be a guarantee that you can flip and sell unless you have some creative way to acquire the land and then you tie up the land before closing on the purchase and you simultaneously close on the sale, and that's more complex and in depth, and it requires that knowledge and expertise to be able to get that done in addition to the cash. So if you don't have all of that, that's probably not going to work as a short-term investment as well. And then stocks in the short term, they could be volatile. Think about 2008 to 2009, and you could lose money in the short term. Oops, forgot a parentheses there. Regardless of that, I want you to think more long term, okay, with short term benefits. So, long term buy and hold real estate, or buying a passive business, or buying long term indexed funds for investment, okay? So, these are not short term solutions, but let me have you think about the short term benefits that could be available to you that you might not have thought of, okay? Ready? So, a long term buy and hold real estate investment, you could tap into the equity you have. The equity is the value minus the debt is your equity in the property. You could go to a local credit union and tap into the equity that you have in that line of credit, in that asset, that real estate asset, and a bank would go and issue you a home equity line of credit. Now there's risks to that. It's an adjustable rate mortgage that adjusts with prime. Prime right now is really low, so rates are really low, but they're going to go up. So 5 years from now, you might be hating yourself if you go and use that debt for the wrong thing. But long-term buy and hold real estate, if you look for short-term benefits within a long-term buy and hold opportunity, you could tap into that equity with a home equity line of credit. Next one, passive business. You could get a business line of credit. I know that it's pretty easy to go and get a business line of credit for up to $50,000 for certain businesses. So if you have a passive income business that has equity in it, then you could go and get a business loan against that. And again, you would use that for either emergency needs, but you would probably want to use that for only for investment opportunities where the income from that investment more than pays for the debt service on that line of credit. So every line of credit that a bank will give you, they will give you the ability to withdraw money and use that money for whatever you want, but they're going to charge you an interest rate, and that income from the investment needs to cover the cost of that interest rate. Okay, and then long-term index fund investing. Did you know that you could invest? You have your money invested into mutual funds, and an index fund is just another example of a group of stocks, and you can invest in a group of stocks and have your money held there. And typically, most people who have retirement accounts have their money held in these index funds or different groups of stocks that have been chosen, and you can actually take out a loan against your stocks. And it's a pretty amazing opportunity because your stocks, your money can grow and be held long term for growth over the long term of the stock market. Stock market goes up by 7 to 9% every year. So we got that long term growth, okay? And you can pull out a loan against the value, the equity you have in those stocks. And there's very specific rules, and I'm not going to go into the details, but I want you to see that go and invest in long term assets and then look at the short-term options you have within those assets to tap into the equity you have to be able to take and fund additional investment opportunities. That's using leverage, using your assets to leverage into additional opportunities. Now, this isn't for everybody. You've got to be disciplined. You can borrow against the equity you have for short-term opportunities, but it only works if you, whatever you buy with that line of credit, that equity that you have, that loan against the asset, if you put that money into an income producing asset that more than pays for the cost of the line of credit. So if you went and put your money, you took out a line of credit, put your money into land, is that land producing income for you? Probably not, right? And so you're going to lose money over time because you have debt service on that money. Now you might say, well, in 2 years, if I can sell this land for 10 times what I bought it for, it's going to be worth it. And that's for your situation. But you've got to recognize the danger of going and getting a loan against your assets that has debt service that then you have to go and get income to produce to replace and cover the cost of that debt service. So discipline is the key there. Wanted to show you that so you can see what you could do to make long-term investments have short-term benefits. Hopefully that was helpful for you.